Hey everybody, and welcome. Gonna do a overview review of the AeraMax 200 from Fellows, and give you guys a video instead of just typing it out and jazz like that. So the reason I bought this compared to a lot of other ones was because uh, the different fan motor design, and also after doing my research, I found that it's got about a clean air delivery rate of 130, which is bombing. It's got 5 certifications. It's got asthma and allergy friendly, UL listed, Arm and Hammer and clean air delivery rates certified, and energy certified. So energy certified wasn't really much of a big deal, but I mean at 6 watts of power, that's pretty low of power usage for low ability. I'm pretty sure that's without the Plasma True technology activated, so that's pretty neat. The auto mode, the Plasma True technology, and the bacterial filter treatment done with it, I didn't really give a darn. It was pretty reasonably priced at 121 bucks on Amazon, so I got with that. So it was pretty cheap compared to the standard price, which was like 180 bucks. And it didn't use the same fan design as their tower version, which the tower version is the popular kind of fan design technology around for other air purifiers. And I was like, no. I looked at this design because it was more simplistic and would shoot up into the ceiling. And since my unit will be less than 5 feet away from my bed right here, and right here, while I'm sitting doing my computer thing, it'd be pretty cool because when I'm sleeping, I can put it on low or medium, have it bounce off the ceiling, and work like an upside down fan. So it's pretty neat. And doing research on how quiet it was, I found that it was 6 decibels lower than the German Guardian. The German Guardian is rated at, for their AC 4825 model, is rated at 46 decibels on low, and the AeraMax is rated at 40 decibels at low. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Okay. So I bought it. Here's where stuff starts getting really annoying though. And I know a lot of people are like, So I get the machine and it's shipped from UPS. And they put it on my door and they leave. And I open my door and I look at the package, put it in the house, and I notice one huge big thing that's just like, you never want to see a package in its original form. And here it is. It is. You know how when you go to like a Walmart, Target, or something, you see that fan, that box that has the fan coloring and all that, pictures and such forth, and you just pull it off the rack and you like go to the cashier and pay for it? That's exactly how it was shipped. It was basically they just took the shipping label and stuck it on the original package and just shipped it like that. What makes it even worse, it was shipped with no sealing tape. So anybody from the shipping yard or such forth could have just went, ooh, pretty interesting air purifier. Literally, there was no tape whatsoever to lock down the top area where you open it. So anybody can open it. And I wouldn't know if anybody was messing with it or jazz like that. Now, the bigger stuff that started really getting pretty bad was after I opened the machine and put it in my room and jazz like that. Took off the cover bag on top of the machine, took out the filter. I was hoping the filter didn't stink because I also asked a question about this. if the filter stunk. And because with that treatment, with most treatments, you're probably going to have a smell, because with the antibacterial treatment done to the HEPA filter, it's obviously going to have some kind of smell done to it now. So I was like hoping that this antibacterial treatment would just either smell nothing or smell faintly of anything, because you don't want to smell from a air purifier. That's the point, right? You want to get the air purifier, have nothing to smell with it, boom. Here's the problem. When I took it out, the dumbest thing that they have done, which probably never should be done for any type of air purifier, is they packaged the HEPA filter with the carbon filter. And so when the carbon filter is packaged with something that's releasing an odor, what does that carbon filter do? It absorbs that odor. And here's the problem. Since it's packaged and it's left in a warehouse, I was wondering, okay, this better not smell or stink to high heaven. I opened it and poof, it did. Probably because I got an old machine, and since it was sitting in a hot warehouse or some jazz like that, the carbon filter was activated, and so it was absorbing the treatment done to the HEPA filter, and basically it just mixed itself back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and so the carbon filter was basically stinking of the treatment done to the HEPA filter. And it just made it worse to the HEPA filter to stink even more, because it was packaged in the same way. So I was like, ew, this is gross. Oh, is that the treatment done for it? Oh, gosh. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll be able to see if I can blow this off for a few days and jazz like that. So took it out of the wrapping. I was like, oh boy, I really don't want to run it in my room and have my room stink of this crap smell. But I put it back in after taking out the plastic wrapping, put the HEPA filter back in, and people were complaining that it doesn't lock seal. There's two locker pins where you pull the tray out for the HEPA filter and the carbon filter. Just basically bend it back. Bend it outwards, and then when you place the unit, the plastic thing back into the unit, just push it down and then push it in, and it'll lock those into position again. Because I guess when they come stock, they're not pushed outwards, so they're just sort of pushed in and they don't lock. So having to do that is a small little thing, no biggie. I turned the unit on, and holy cow, I was actually impressed by this. On low, this thing is dead silent. This was like, ooh, that was impressive. I was like, low's pretty dang silent. That's pretty neat. I never seen an air purifier be that silent. I'd be able to sleep with that, because the only thing that would make noise in my entire room would still be my little Coke bottle fridge. I wouldn't even hear the air purifier activated, so that's pretty neat. And I would still get a somewhat of a decent little breeze to go up on my ceiling and bounce off again. Medium, okay, you can hear that. It's like low for the germ guardian. High is like a little bit lower than medium for the germ guardian. It's pretty okay. But here's where it gets really ridiculously stupid. On turbo, which is the maximum performance for the clean air delivery rate service ability, it makes a throttling sound. And I have a previous video on my YouTube page that you can listen to, and it shows the entire sound of the throttling sound of what I'm meaning. I would suggest wearing headphones though, because you'll be able to hear it more accurately as what I would hear it from, because I have, again, as I smelled the treatment done to it, I have sensitive nose and a sensitive ears, so I can hear the different pitch sounds of such ability. Like if you have a microwave and you activate the microwave to specific power level, the microwave doesn't change its power level to the desired temperature ability of what you're trying to cook. It actually goes. It actually turns its power system off, but keeps the fan blowing. So it doesn't change the power requirement. It just does the same thing like your dryer. You know, your clothes dryer. When you put it on low, it activates the gas to a specific amount, and then it turns off. And then as it spins, it keeps that heat inside, and when it detects there's not much heat for that ability, it returns on. But if you have it on high instead of medium, it keeps it going and going and going and going, and does like that. And sometimes it'll turn off. So I can hear the different pitch sounds from a microwave. I can hear the different pitch sounds from a computer making whining sounds from the motors or such forth. And my last machines were the German Guardian and the Holmes Vispis Pure with a little window. And from the German Guardian, after a few months, it started making a whine sound, and that can drive people crazy. This, on the other hand, this can literally drive somebody insane on turbo if they have very sensitive ears to hear stuff with, because this throttling sound can just, it's not constant throttling sound, it's sort of intermittent, and it's just like and it's just like, wow. And I contacted the company and asked them if they hear anything unusual, or if this throttling sounds anything bad, or the machine's defected. And they said no. So, and I even asked a few people on Amazon of the bot area, and people said they didn't hear a difference. So I guess people that don't have very sensitive ears can hear this, but people that do can definitely hear it. And I'll have the link below for you guys can watch that video, and you can demonstrate yourself to actually hear the difference. But with people with sensitive ears, they can hear the difference in that motor pitch sound. It'll go insane. But yeah, that was like, wow. I can't believe that's a design making ability, because most of the fans that I have gotten have not had that type of thing going on. And I'm pretty sure for any other design that has the blower fan system that blows up and jazz like that, don't have that kind of throttling sound. So anyways, I was just like, oof. Now, as for the entire technology, I wanted to test something. The Aero Plus motor increasing speed ability, people were wondering what's that thing is actually really about. Sadly, I learned the real aspect of it. When you have it on turbo, or medium, or high, or such forth, and you activate that, guess what happens? And instead of giving 50% more motor fan speed ability, which you would think that it would be actually for, it just turns it into auto mode and turns it to medium. And then supposedly, after a few minutes, I heard that they basically... No, I didn't hear. After a few minutes, it basically turned it back to low, but the auto plus setting is still activated. So I guess it pulses itself from low to medium at times. But it's still in auto mode. You can't change it from that setting. You turn off the auto mode, it turns off the Aero Plus. So I'm just like, yeah, that's a real stupid feature. And the Plasma True technology is not really special. It's no different than the Winix Plasma Wave. and it's no special than the sharper images plasma cluster technology. They're actually all the exact same. There's no difference. So, trademark or not, who cares? It's just basically hydrogen and I forget the nitro oxygen or whatever the stuff you breathe. Carbon dioxide is the chemicals that are used. You have hydrogen and carbon dioxide, and those basically are from negative and plus ions, and they stick onto a particle and blow up into H2O, basically water vapor. So when I tested this out, turned it on, it does smell like a sort of water kind of smell. So people that are sensitive to smelling this kind of vapor ability, they will tell you that yes, it sort of smells like a fishy smell, and it is probably because of the plasma true technology that's emitting those two chemicals or ions into the air, and when they explode they make water vapor. So I guess because they're contacting with dust and such forth, they're trying to do the same thing like that, and that's why you can smell it right away. But yeah, it's not very good, and I don't know if you can really trust their technology with that, because negative ions are the ones that have a bit more better effect. Even if they make slight traces of ozone, they're not as bad as most people are saying about, because the ozone is actually the good ozone kind. It's not the bad ozone that you breathe in, like smoke or carbon crap like that. That's the bad ozone. That's the stuff you don't want. This is not the bad ozone. Actually, and this ozone has that after effect smell of after a thunderstorm. So you're not having too much badness from that. It has a more natural ability, because instead of exploding or being very conductive ions that jabs like this, and then when they touch something it explodes, these are just negative ions, and so when they capture on something they just go, okay, let's go bud, you're going down to the floor, and it just sink. Or they make the particles bigger, and so when they go through the fan they capture better than what they would normally without the negative ions. So negative ions are pretty good ability, and the entire technology has been around for a long time, so you can really trust it compared to a lot of other companies trying to make this plasma true technology or jazz like that, or plasma cluster, that have really no dependence on how long it's been performing and if it's even really good compared to this technology. And let's talk about the auto mode. Now, I don't buy an air purifier for auto mode, because first of all, auto mode for purifiers are a joke. Okay, there is no air purifier in the world that will be able to sense or detect air particles down to a very good, decent level, that will be able to auto predict settings and clean the air precisely. So if you buy a air purifier for auto mode, then you might as well just get a fan with a little tiny filter in the back and have it like that, because auto mode will always have it on low until it detects something like somebody's bad breath. Then it will turn into medium, or then it will turn into high, but it will never go into turbo, because they don't have it for turbo setting. So you're never going to get the real air clean power from the purifier, even in auto setting mode. So, and here's another kick. We have a dusty house, and a lot of people else have dusty house. You turn your air purifier on, you leave it on auto mode, it will never change. The only thing that will change is if you had like a big dustbin just drop right next to the air purifier, or you had a trash bin drop next to it that it smells the odors. Anything else, it's not going to really change. And even if it does smell it, it's only going to go to medium. It's not going to jump up to high, or it's not going to jump up to turbo, which air purifiers should do. So this entire auto sensing technology stuff is, it's like, yeah, why'd you buy an air purifier? Oh, I bought from auto technology mode, so I don't have to mess with it. Really? No. You want to have the clean air delivery rate ability? Boom. Maximum. That is how you get the entire room to be clean. And you'll know if it's clean because, like, if you have like a dehumidifier or something like that, you'll just walk in and the room won't even feel like anything. You'll just be like, whoa. You won't feel particles on your body. You won't feel the smell of the room. Won't smell like anything. You'll just be like, wow. Did I just walk into my room, or did I just walk into a clean room? Holy cow. That's the kind of smell or performance that you will be getting from an air purifier. But you have to have it on max. But here's a kicker, which is quite interesting. I read on Fellows' question area, the FAQ question place, and I found this thing about the plasma true technology, which is hilarious because you don't expect this to be for any machine's clean air delivery rate affection. Is they say that you should have the plasma true technology active to gain with the on a turbo to gain the maximum clean air delivery rate, which is within 130. Because if you don't, then it's not gaining the certification from the clean air delivery rate ability. What? Are you kidding me? Clean air delivery rate is based off the fan, not plasma true technology. So it's like, hello, where are you basing this clean air delivery rate off now? So, okay. So, with that all down and whatnot, the mower fan that was an annoyance, I thought was a defect. And the true HEPA filter that was done with the treatment destroyed the carbon filter. I ordered a replacement because I thought this entire unit was screwed over and this wasn't a part of the unit. So I ordered a replacement, and as I do, I try to get the carbon filter smell away by washing it. That doesn't really do anything, even with good smelling soap and what jazz. After 30-40 minutes of washing the entire carbon filter and scraping off most of the charcoal, it didn't do anything. Even after drying it, letting it dry and jazz like that, it was just like, yeah, it's gone. And after running the unit without the carbon filter to get the HEPA filter not smelling like crap, it still didn't go away. So I was like, yeah, this probably is destroyed because whatever treatment they done and left in the warehouse, they just literally destroyed the entire unit. Because the unit relies on that HEPA filter and the carbon filter. Without that, it's just basically an over frickin' priced fan. And who wants to buy a $300 fan or air purifier that works only like a fan? Seriously. So, a few days later, I get the replacement The carbon filter and HEPA filter are a little more better in smelling, but the HEPA filter does still smell of that treatment done to it, which still stinks, but it didn't stink as bad because it wasn't sitting in a warehouse or such forth for a long time. So I was like, okay, so the carbon filter was okay. It worked to what it's supposed to do. I was like, okay, I'll take that. And the new machine, on the other hand, still had the same noise crap on turbo, but what made it worse was the replacement had on low a sort of rattling sound. I was like, right, okay. And this one, if you're wondering about the package, this one was actually packaged in another actual shipping box compared to just shipping it in its original box. So I was like, okay, thumbs up. We got some shipping box. Although it's just like a bigger box over the small box, and it's got little, just barely a faint little bits of smush paper on the top. Nothing else special. So it's like, okay. But it's in a shipping box, and it's sealed, so that was a bonus. So nobody can tamper with it. Just like that. And if somebody did, I would know because the tape would be all ripped apart and jazz like that. But, yeah. The new unit was no better. I was just like, okay. So I took the filter from the new unit, gave them the old filter, and shipped that back. Kept the original one, since it was actually pretty quiet. Used that for a while, and yeah, no new performance. The treatment done was still stinking up the room, and with that treatment done, if you have very sensitive nose and such forth, I forgot to mention this, it will probably make your head spin because it's gonna fill up the room with this treatment smell, and it's just gonna circulate and circulate and circulate and circulate. So you walk in your room, you're gonna smell this treatment done in your room, and it's just like, yeah. Can I get a mask now? Wow. um, but hey, it made the room nice and feel clean, right? So it's definitely using a good true HEPA filter that's making the room pretty decent, but that treatment done to it basically destroys the entire purpose. And that wobbling sound, the design of the wobblingness, that if you have super hearing ability or sensitive hearing, would probably drive you insane, because most of the time you're going to want to run it on high so you can get the maximum efficiency and clean your room. Because once you open that door, boom, an entire wall of dust comes in. Once you have the AC or heater on, the vent is going to blow all that dust back into your room. Once you have the window just open for a couple minutes, there goes a amount of dust into your room. So you basically need to have it sealed, and if you don't have it sealed, then again you have to run it on maximum performance to get rid of most of the particles. And for the auto sensing, like I was mentioning about that and the dust ability, how is it going to protect for the micro viruses and such forth? If you have auto setting on, how is it going to sense that there's a virus that goes through into the HEPA filter or jazz like that? When it's on low power, it's not going to suck anything, and when it's sucking, the sensor's on the side, so it's only sucking in barely a fraction of anything, and it's barely moving any air around the unit. So how's it really going to determine if there's a virus flowing in the air if it's on low power? And again, if it doesn't sense anything or have a very good sensor or jazz like that, it's not gonna determine that it's got a virus in the air and crank itself up to eliminate any other viruses. So pretty much the auto-sensing technology is really stupid. I don't know why air purifiers have this technology when they really don't work. So it's a good unit, but it's also got its bads, especially from when you're coming from a sensitive type of person that has noise sensitivity and smell sensitivity. You don't want that smell, and you don't want the unit to make a very annoying, loud, throttling sound when it's supposed to perform pretty okay. I mean, for a lot of people that are going to complain and say, oh, well, obviously it's going to make some noise. Yeah, it's going to make some noise. I get that. But it's not going to make a... It's not going to make a racking sound noise. I have a bunch of fans, and this is all you're supposed to hear from any type of fan. Not throttling sound. All you're supposed to hear from a fan, or any type of fan, is just a whoosh. If it's get louder of a whoosh, cool, whoopee. But it's not supposed to make a sort of knocking, throttling sound while it's on high. It's just a whooshing sound. That's what I expect from fans. But, yeah. So, sure, it's going to make some noise on high, but a whooshing sound is what I'm expecting for it to be noisy, not a throttling. And I know I'm just repeating myself, but yeah. So, it's pretty good. It's all pretty bad too. I'll leave it for you guys to decide. But for this ability of the air purifier, it's in between. If you got really sensitive ability and whatnot, pass it. If you don't, and you can withstand that sound ability and that smell somewhat, go ahead. Go on and get it. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's cheap right now, and it's probably a good performance for a small room, overkill, and on low setting, it's really decently quiet. You guys like that? Great little machine, but it's plus and minus. So, anyways, peace out, and that's my video. And for that ability, I would say I'll just leave it at 2-3 stars. Because it's okay, but it's not okay at the same time. Peace.